Alright, let's finish this off, alright? Anaconda. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. We're going to talk about this. So a documentary crew is traveling through the Amazon in Brazil, where they meet a strange man named Saran, played by Jon Voight, and eventually a deadly snake. They are looking for a lost tribe called the Shirashama, and Jon Voight's character Saran says that he can take them there, and you know, stuff happens. So this cast is really weird. You got Jennifer Lopez, who at this time in '97 was doing music stuff, but she wasn't big. Ice Cube, also a musician. Owen Wilson, wow. Kari Wuhrer, who was in Sliders. Eric Stoltz, who was not in Back to the Future. Jonathan Hyde, who's that guy who's in everything, but you don't know who he is. He was in Jumanji and The Mummy and this, and you don't really, know much. And Jon Voight, who from the moment you get on screen, he gets on screen, you know he's the bad guy. I mean, look at that face. Look at that. Look at that. That's his face for the whole movie. It's like he's doing a Robert De Niro impression with a Al Pacino Scarface accent. What do you mean fair? I did not fair. I compare him to Steel, the villain dog from Balto. Every frame of him in that film tells you he's the bad guy, he's the villain. Same thing with Jon Voight. Even when he sleeps, he's like this. Every frame of him, you can tell he's evil. And the ultimate way to tell that he's evil, he tucks his shirt in. I hate that people walk around with their shirt tucked in. That's stupid. Unless you're like dressing up. But you just got a t-shirt on, you tuck it into your pants. No. No. Evil. So yeah, they're after this tribe called the Shirashama. They meet Jon Voight. Okay, so there's 3 things I want to talk about here because... So I watched Fearless's review for this. And I watched Good Bad Flicks' review for this. Now, Fearless pointed out 3 things I'm going to point out. But both of them pointed out the same thing. So first of all, 2 of Fearless's points. First, he says... So there's a part where Owen Wilson is talking to Kari Wuhrer's character. And he says, is it just me? Or does the jungle make you horny? And she says, oh, it's definitely the jungle. And Fearless says that the line doesn't make sense and that Owen Wilson changed the line and they didn't change Kari Wuhrer's response. No, if you listen, is it just me or does the jungle make you horny? Oh, it's definitely the jungle. That's the right response. I don't understand that. Another one, there's a scene where Eric Stoltz goes underwater and he questions how because when I pull him back up, he's got a wasp in his throat and he questions how it got in there. Obviously, Jon Voight put it in the mask, and when he put it on and jumped in the water, it went in his mouth and poisoned him. Although it does fuck all, because he's fine by the end of the film, despite the fact that they keep saying they need to get him to a hospital. Jon Voight even says, you don't get him to a hospital, he's not going to survive. And yet, he survives. And why does he poison him? Because it doesn't do anything to his plan. He wants to capture the Anaconda, that's what he wants. It's not really a villainous thing, but he does villainous things, like try to strangle Kari Wuhrer with his legs. Does she die? I think she dies. I don't know. But, yeah. The snake is not in it that much. Like, there's parts. It's done practically. it's done with CGI, and they sometimes use a real snake. And there's multiple snakes because, yeah, Jennifer Lopez shoots one in the head, so, yeah. But here's the point. Here's something that it's not hard to figure out. So both Fearless and Good Bad Flicks pointed this out when they first introduced Saron, right? He's on his boat, and he jumps onto their boat, but he jumps onto Owen Wilson going this way. But when it cuts to the next scene, he's underneath Owen Wilson. If you pay attention, there's a small, little part. Pay very much attention. Now, both Fearless and Good Bad Flicks said that doesn't make sense. That Jon Voight jumps on top and he's on the bottom. If you pay very close attention when he jumps, they turn. So he jumps and they turn. It's not. He's not jumping on. He's not just jumping. It's not like he's just straight jumping on Owen Wilson. Owen Wilson is catching him and turning him down to land safely. So it's a. Let me demonstrate with these wrestlers, right? Let me get Samoa Joe. So this is Saron and this is Owen Wilson, right? He jumps on him and he turns him. Right? Okay. So he jumps off the thing, and when he jumps, he turns. So it lands, like he turns, lands like that. Right? Ready? Okay, one more time. Like that. So that's what happened. And they both point out that that doesn't look right. Well, just think about it. So like I said, the snake is done either practically, they use a real snake, or they have CGI. CGI is not bad. The sequels have worse CGI. Trust me. It's worse. There are two music stars in the film, but I think they play Ice Cube's music in it. There's a scene where he's listening to hip-hop and they turn it off. I think it was Ice Cube's own music, but I don't know. They kill the snake by setting it on fire. But here's my question. So earlier he gets shot in the head. And we know there's more than one snake because of that. Because there's another snake now that's crawling around. So why is that in the movie? Because they kill one snake. Like they shoot it in the head and it's dead. So there's another snake. There's at least two. But shouldn't there be more? I mean, it's a freaking jungle, right? The film actually starts off with a cameo from Danny Trejo shooting himself in the head. So then he wouldn't get eaten by the Anaconda, but the Anaconda could still eat him after he's dead, so that doesn't make any sense. I don't know. Logic in this movie is, it's a horror movie, there's no logic, really. But yeah, and the movie ends with Eric Stoltz being just fine, despite the fact that they kept saying they had to get him to a hospital or he would die. He's just fine. And to end it all, they find the Shirashama. Don't know what it does, but they find him. I assume Jonathan Hyde also does. I think the only three survivors are J-Lo, Ice Cube, and Eric Stoltz, right? I think so. This is a weird thing is, the first time I watched this was in school. We watched this in school. It just came out in 97, I want to say 98, 99. Middle school-ish. 97, I was 10. So that'd be, what, 5th grade? Right? So, well, for me anyway, I was held back. Maybe 4th grade. I don't know. But, by the time I watched, I think we're in middle school, so. But yeah, the acting for the most part is okay. At this point, J-Lo and Ice Cube didn't. I mean, Ice Cube was in Friday. I think he was better in that movie. Of course, he had Chris Tucker to bounce off of. Here, he's fine. J-Lo, I think this was like her first movie, maybe. She's okay. Eric Stoltz is fine for what he's in. The others, Jonathan Hyde, Owen Wilson is Owen Wilson. Kari Wurr is... Let's face it, she's there to look at. There's even a scene where she goes to make out with Owen Wilson and you see cleavage and bra and stuff. That's the only reason why she's there. That's the only reason why they hired her for Sliders, too. But she is a very good actress, so I'm not going to put it past her, but come on. That's the only reason Fox hired her for Sliders, which this had to be around the time she ended up being on that show, 97-ish. I'm not saying she's a bad actress. She's not. She's really good. She's probably the best thing in Hellraiser Deader as well. But Fox had one thing on their mind when they hired her, that's for sure. For Sliders. But the best actor in this film, bar none, Jon Voight. Every single second he is on film, you know he is the villain. And you never forget it. Especially since his shirt's tucked in. But yeah, this was a decent watch. I have to say that Anaconda is pretty good. So yeah, not bad at all. So whew, there we go. I finished all 10. Time for bed, I think. Time for bed. I gotta sleep. And then I'm going to do my ranking first thing tomorrow after I wake up. Or so. And then, yeah. I don't know what I'm going to do next. I could start the ABC review series, or I could go straight into Pick 10 2000s and try to get that done before the end of November. We'll see. I got to figure it out. But when I know, you'll know. Okay? So, with that in mind, what are your thoughts on Anaconda? Anyone comments below. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. I've been Scotty. I'll see you in the next one.